Bonjour et bienvenue dans la campagne française d'Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Or something to that effect. Welcome to another campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the Dreadnought Improvement project. Extended this time. So, what that means, extended, is that we actually have a lot more nations than in the Great Game. As you can see, there are a lot of nations in this version of the mod, including Argentina, Belgium, Korea, Netherlands we had in the Great Game as well, Brazil, Norway, Sweden, Denmark are now separate nations, not bundled together as Scandinavia. We have Greece and the Ottoman Empire as two different nations. And in South America, we have Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. So we actually have some stuff going on down here as well this time around. I'm playing as France. This is going to be my first campaign as France. Now, France is not a tiny nation added by the mod, so they're not going to be the hardest nation to play. That would be something like Belgium, which some people suggested. But the thing is, I have upped the difficulty a little bit. So we're now not playing on legendary difficulty, we're playing on brutal legendary difficulty. That means the AI GDP growth and mostly just the GDP itself and the growth, I think. I remember. I'll have to double check the stats. It has been increased from 1.5 to 1.8. In normal difficulty, that's just a 1. And it's I think it's 0.9 on easy difficulty. Also, research has been upped. And if that extra tweaks and fixes parameter that you helped me with, which I thought didn't work because I was misunderstanding everything, but it should work. That means the tech priority for the AI has been disabled. So their tech should be just progressing along, like parallel to how it progresses in the shared assigned shipbuilder, which should mean that they should be able to build shared assigns throughout the campaign. Now, since I've increased their tech stat from whatever it was to a little bit more than what it was, I expect to be behind, and very behind, for most of the campaign. But that's okay, that's intentional. Just so you don't start wondering too much why I'm behind on technology. I've also, as you have seen, designed a bunch of shared assigned ships for 1890. We're gonna go design some more later on as the campaign progresses. I've also downloaded actually multiple packs of shared assigned ships from other users on Brother Munro's Discord channel. It looks like I can see some of mine have been built, at least. Anything with the SD suffix, that's mine. And yeah, I've made some other changes as well, as you may or may not have seen from videos I've uploaded. Anyway, we have 200 million in funds to play with to build our initial navy. Now, first of all, we're going to have to up this transport capacity. I do want to increase my my shipyard. The one thing I've done, which should help the AI, but also help me a little bit, I've decreased the build cost of the shipyard expansions from 30,000 per ton down to 10,000 per ton. But I intend to gradually increase that as the campaign goes on, because 30,000 I felt was a bit much early on. And you would also see smaller nations, because the AI will typically always expand their shipyard and just go broke because it was costing so much. So I've decreased that to 10,000. We're going to bump it up to 20 in 1900, back up to 30. That would be the default value in 1910. Then up to 40, then 50, and 60,000, so that the late game shipyard expansions still cost a significant amount of money. Because at 30,000 in like the 1950s, you just wouldn't care. You'd always be expanding. I was like, no, not noticeable expense at all. What about the tech budget? Might keep that at 50 just for a bit until we get the transport capacity up to 200%. Then we can drop this and bump this up. I think that'll be the plan. Now, ship design. By the way, with the latest version of tweaks and fixes, look at how nice the shipyard is. Sometimes you get weather effect now in the shipbuilder, so you can get rain. If you get rain and like sunset with the sun coming in low, it's so gorgeous. It's so pretty. Anyway, let's build some ships. This hull can be maxed out. How about the ironclad? 80 resistance on this one. That might be our starting battleship. $83 on this one, but let's see. There's not that much of a difference, 80 and 83. This one has better stability as well. Wow. Are we just gonna make this the starting battleship? Maybe. Also, Lorenzo Ferrari, which some of you may remember from the Italian campaign that I played, sent me a bunch of schematics over ship designs. And we're going to try and replicate those later on. Many of those, especially the French armored cruisers, are sized at around 10,000 tons, which you cannot you just can't build that in 1890. Because, no, actually they bumped up the armored cruiser initial size from 4,000 to 6,000 tons. So you can build a sizable one, just not 10,000 tons. That'll have to wait. Let's make this our initial battleship. Patrie. Towers seem to not be too bad either. Let's make this guy fairly simple and affordable-ish. 10.5, 10, 9.5. Actually, just 9, 8. I think if we need 3 funnels to reach 100%, something like that. Can we do like super firing turrets aft? That might be possible. If I just scoot all this stuff forwards. Yeah. So we got 12s and 11s. That is a huge turret for such a small ship. That might be too much. I think the 12-inch gun will have to wait for... the 11 is actually wider. I thought the 12-inch gun would have to wait, but now it seems through necessity I have to widen this a lot to make that fit. And I can't make that fit as I thought we could. At least they do turn. Well. Well. We can put that there. And have a 6-inch gun there. How about casemates? One slot for a 4-inch gun. A bunch of slots for 3-inch guns. And we're going to add some torpedo launchers as well. Now, is this going to work? We can pick compound. Alright. Alright. I didn't think compound armor would be available in 1890. Maybe I got lucky and had it unlocked from the start, because there's a little bit of RNG involved in that. I'm gonna go increased AP for the main gun. Does this still turn? No. Kinda? The good thing I tested that. Increased... No, not the... Casemate. This one. This guy. No, they're still in the way. So they'll have to go. Right. There's also a bunch of spots to put 2-inch guns. I'm not gonna use all of those spots. That's good enough. We are gonna go reduced ammo. No available options there. Let's see what then is our flash fire chance. 64.1% with reduced ammo. That is that's a very high chance of flash fire. With the standard it's 68, so it's not that big of a difference. We're actually just gonna stick with the standard ammo then. Light shells, is that an option? 59. Light and reduced, 55. Like, flash fire chance is really bad anyway, so we're just gonna have to trust the armor on this. Kind of disappointed that I couldn't fit twin 11s on this hull. Let's see. Plus 30 armor quality. 12 might keep me safe, actually, from these kind of guns. Fine. Let's say 12 is going to keep me safe. How's the, Yep. Citadel armor is covering the necessary places. Which isn't actually that easy to do on some of these pre-dreadnought hulls. Deck pen is not very high, 0.5 at max range. We're closing in on the weight limit though. Actually, just gonna go 0-0 here. It didn't give me room for any more guns anyway. Actually, let's go +2. This hull looks kind of... it looks like it should be a little bit fat. You get what I'm saying? .5. 0.2. We can have conning tower armor. Inner deck, does that really matter in this case? Nine, 6, 18. 6, 16. So that at 2 gives me 0.5 inches. So it's like the same. I can turn this down to 4, put 0.2 here, get equal to 5, but the weight is like the same. Can I armor the turrets without going overweight? Yeah, maybe. Let's go a full inch on the turret armor, the top armor there. Right, we got more weight to spare. Good. I don't want this thing getting penetrated and blown up, because it will not take much to blow this thing up. I would also like some more range, but it shouldn't run out of fuel all the time with 5,000 kilometers. 46 million for a battleship? The Patrie, I guess we'll take it. Save the sign. Could we try the slightly bigger cousin as well? With a more complicated name. This one also had 18 knots. I might have a Patrie or two as like a colonial battleship over in Asia or something. Let's go with 3 of these. I like bigger films though. Take up more space. But I think they look decent. Now let's go for the smaller ones, just because we can stick them tighter together. And the actual difference in funnel capacity is kind of negligible. Right, what kind of guns can we fit now? Can this hull fit the 11s? No. Same problem here. These Mark 1 11-inch turrets are just too fat. Like, how fat do I have to make the hull for this even to fit? Even maxed out? It just doesn't work. We'll have to go with 12s. It looks kind of oversized for this hull. Can fit 11s here, but not back here again. I think we're skipping this one. Actually, it doesn't really give me that much over the other one. But I'd like to have these guns that are a little bit lighter, but faster firing. And would get to Mark II sooner. How about the very biggest one, Battleship 1? Same problem. Like, you can fit it, like, in other places, but not where I want it. So, let's go to the other end of the scale. Torpedo boats. Now, pretty much all torpedo boat hulls are roughly the same. So when I was building share design ships for the AI, I built the same torpedo boat over and over and over and over again. So I kind of know how it's going to be. There are actually two versions of torpedo boat hulls. This one has a gun mount here. The other one is a little bit more forgiving because you can put the gun even further forwards, which gives you more space. And turn that sideways because we're not using that gun anyway. And then one small funnel. And then the torpedo tubes. Should be able to squeeze in 5 of these guys. But just barely. Yes. Right. 5 torps. Now for the gun, we're making this as light and tiny as possible. Because it doesn't matter. It's just there because it has to be there. A little bit less like top armor. That's fine. Can I... No, almost got more range out of it. Got more bulkheads out of it. That's fine. Nice. Nice. That is the new TB90. So, torpedo boat done. Armored cruiser is the next one. I've got one hull that I can build on. $18 knots, that's the same as the battleship. I want a little bit of range out of this. 6,000 tons is maximum. And we're going to use all of that. 25 resistance. Not much for like tower selection. Wait a minute. Base accuracy 4, 5 long range accuracy. 3.5 base accuracy, 5 long range. This one also has a 100-meter more tower spotting. Torpedo spotting, not quite as good. Communication damage control. But front tower 1 somehow better in many aspects than front tower 2, and also lighter. That is the worst funnel efficiency I've seen. We're gonna need a lot of funnels here. Let's first place down the main guns. I don't think that... No. Same fat turrets here. But the 9-inch... they're also kind of big-ish. But... You know... Maybe we can make that work. Almost. But not quite. These built-in lifeboats. Making things difficult for me. That doesn't work. That does work. Somehow that did work. Can we do ABXY on this hull? We're gonna need more funnel at least. Even then. Nope, nope. Doesn't work. So, all that deck space will just go to more funnel. And still only 95%. It will get better once we get... what's the thing called? Induced? Induced spoilers? Not forced. That's the third one. Now, do you still work, or are you gonna have trouble? Same as on that battleship. And also... that edge there. France is being very problematic now. And I have to find out how fat I need to make this hull to make that turret work. Because here, it doesn't work. So that will just lead to problems. %8 wider. Can I get away with not using that stupid barbette now? No. Nope. I'm bringing back the barbette. Right. Thionville, very much a product of something of France. Yeah. Torpedoes will make everything better. Can we even armor this now? Or will everything have to... maybe I'll just have to get rid of this third turret altogether. It doesn't actually weigh that much, but... let's see, increase AP. Standard on that thing. Very little weight left over to armor this. I do like my 5-inch secondaries, though. Does the A turret turn? No, it also doesn't turn. Do I really have to go down to 8s? I think I do. I think we're stuck with 8-inch guns on this ship. Which isn't, like, nothing, but... and that thing still needs a barbette. Is there, like, a smaller barbette I can pick for it? One that's not, like, super tall? I mean, it has those breakwater things sticking out, but we can pretend those are for something else. Like torpedo nets, maybe. Can hang those off there. Right, we now have 500 tons to play with. For armor. 29.8 flashfire tons. Let me bring that down. 23.9. I can bring it down a little bit, but... will that be enough to save the ship? Probably not. We're gonna have to go with less armor, I think. Where are we? 5-inch of penetration. Out to like 2.5 thousand. Do we need 6 inches of belt armor? I mean, there are enemy ships with bigger guns than 8-inch guns, I know, because I've designed them. There we go, overweight. Yeah, we're actually just gonna have to drop that third turret. We dropped the number of turrets. We've dropped the caliber of the turrets. There's really not that much left now, this ship. Which started out as something with a lot of main gun firepower and has become something with less than many other ships. Guess we're going 5 funnels because we can't really fit anything else in there. So at least the range is now decent. Right. The conning tower couldn't have much armor, so at least we don't have to spend weight on that thing. These 5-inch guns also didn't like having too much armor on them. Man. This is not ending up the way I wanted it. Put one there, just to slightly make up for our loss. Yes, we're gonna have to find a way to save some weight. Do I want to lengthen the guns? No. Probably not. Can I now... I could probably reduce the beam now, since I dropped the main caliber of the guns. That should still work, right? No. Of course not. I accidentally removed some turrets there. Didn't mean to. The 6 works. How about 4? That's what I had, wasn't it? Oh, it has to be 6. If this turret wants to do something. So now we're once again stuck with having to shave off something. Do we have to reduce speed? Probably. Can remove that thing. Now we're almost there. I do want to have one gun there, though. Even if it's just a 3-inch. Just to fill in. There's a 45-ton funnel, 41-ton funnel. I can't really save that much weight by going with the smaller one. Also, I forgot these casemates. They need armor as well. Oh, no, that's the gun caliber. I did armor the casemates, but these 3-inch turrets, they cannot have armor. Right, so they're gonna explode, aren't they? Which means we're keeping them empty. We're keeping them empty. Yeah. There. Didn't need that much top armor for the turrets. Thionville is now designed. A lot of compromises had to be made. And it might still explode, but at least it's only 20 million. So we can probably afford to lose a couple of these to flash fires. Light cruiser is next. And here we have more than one hull to choose from. What's the maximum size? 3,000. This thing is cute. Pascal. It is very French. 1,500 tons. Max size. 21 knots. 23, 20, 21. This one can actually go fast. 15 resistance. Great. Let's pick one tower that has some tower spotting on it. In case we want this thing to do some kind of spotting. Which could be useful. For funnel cap 1.3. 1.5, excuse me. But you can get more than 4 of these for one of those. This one might be the best bet for funnel capacity versus weight. Maybe. It's not bad. I kind of like the weird look. I think if you're playing France, like the point is kind of that the ships look weird. If that makes sense. 6-inch guns. We can have a lot of those. And this time, they do fit, no problem. Probably squeezing one more, but I'm gonna get the important part done first. The torps. Of which this can have many. Do we bother with the citadel? How much does it weigh? Not that much, like 50 tons. Increased AT on the secondaries. If we do pick any secondaries, might not have the weight for it. 3-inch main belt, and we're almost at the weight limit already. 2-inch fore and aft, and we're overweight. 4-inch on the turrets. No armor on the conning tower, 1.9, but that's not much. What can these guns pen? 3 inches. Maximum. So, what to reduce here? Can reduce the beam a little bit. Range is, let's not make this our, like, long-range commerce raiding cruiser. This can be, like, the fleet support cruiser. It doesn't need to have more range than the battleships, because they're gonna go along with them. Let's actually drop the citadel on this one. And the barbette as well. Because I want to see if... we can put a lot of 2-inch guns on this. That's going to take up a lot of weight. I think those 3-inch guns here are going to be more useful. But actually... Is this going to be one of those ships that we build somewhat unfinished and hope for better technology to free up some weight for secondary guns and stuff? Because this here works. 4 6-inch guns? That's probably more useful than a lot of other things that we could have spent that displacement on. I would think. Now we can just give it cramped quarters as well. Because why not? No, that doesn't work. Can do one of them though. It's got the same arc of fire as 2 on the sides. I think that's our light cruiser, Pascal. Yeah. And we're gonna need one more light cruiser to actually go like around the world and do light cruiser things. So it's gonna need range, and that's gonna be this one. Let's see, 23 knots. Now, I'm kind of thinking this will have to fight other light cruisers. So we might need to go with 7-inch guns on this. Or I want to try if we can make that work. Because they can actually go through typical light cruiser belt armor. $1,000 tower spotting. That's not amazing, is it? It's also kind of a big tower. Can't put it up here because of the turret. And it doesn't fit here. I have to put it like way back here. I'm worried that finding space for all the funnels might be hard. At least they have decent funnel cap, but they're also like pretty big. Can only fit 2. Like no matter what. There's just not room for more. Put that way up there. That's as far forward as it goes. Right at the bulkhead. Oh, wait. It kind of fits here? Yes. That actually works. I didn't think that would work. So now we can actually go with 3 smaller funnels. That's 36 for 1. 32. We're going to have to go with 3 of the biggest ones if we're going to reach 100%. But I I do like the look of a 3-funnel light cruiser. Right, so we got main guns, we got the funnels. We do not have a lot of leftover displacement, but the range is good. The range on this thing now is pretty darn good for 1890. Just gotta preface that. If we slim it up, bump it back up to 3,000. Oh, wow, okay. Maybe we can fit a lot more now. I didn't know that was the exact, like, hull length growth point, but apparently it was. Now that doesn't fit there anymore. But it fits here. Why are you so weird, Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts? It fit there with the slightly shorter hull, but now it doesn't. Oh, come on. Are we seriously like right at the I mean, fine. There. So we're gonna have to have it shortened a little bit. But it just worked here. It works backwards. As ugly as that looks. No, there we go. Have to find the magic pixel where things just work. And back with the secondary tower. Good. Right. Minus bulkheads, maybe? They don't weigh that much. So I'm not gonna chance it. $22 knots for now? Sure. It will have to do. Not gonna bother with Citadel or Barbette, I think. Because they just don't really do that much this early on. Gonna go increased AP for those big 7-inch guns. And we're gonna hope that this can punch holes in enemy light cruisers, which should be possible if we assume enemy light cruisers have a 3-inch main belt. Conning Tower 2.4 max armor. Okay, so now we've armored it decently enough. 7.8 million versus 4.6 for the Pascal. We got fewer torpedoes, fewer guns, but we got more range. I have a couple of these that I can like send out to do like convoy missions. Or if I need to, like, do a conquest mission somewhere. This should be capable of doing that. I would like some secondary guns on it, though, but we really don't have a lot of... or leftover displacement. So that'll just have to be it for this one now. And probably with better engines, which we should get soon, we can free up enough displacement for some secondary guns on it. And just ship it as is for now. We're gonna get a day one DLC. That's how I like to build my ships. Let's do one more battleship. Actually. Gonna be the Pierre Henri. It's gonna be your name. Let's do this one. I like the extra secondary slots on it. Even if I can't use the main guns I want to use. Maybe we can make it work. What was the that's the one with decent resistance, yeah? Let's go double 12s on this. What's that citadel looking like now? Decent, actually. Three of those. 18 knots. So our battleships are going to be running away from our armored cruisers, which can only do 17. But that's fine. That is fine. Well, it's not, but it's something we have to live with for now. I managed to put that barbette on the center line for once. Why is that gun green? I don't know why it's green. You got casemates. 4-inch, just 2 slots. 3-inch, still 2 slots. So we're gonna make those 4s. Six-inch. 6-inch. And 5s. Do you still turn now? No. These are still causing me issues. How about you? Didn't you work here previously? Wasn't that good enough? There you go. Are you still gonna... Yeah. You don't like that. Do you accept those 6-inch guns as your friends now? No, you don't. So we might just have to... Does it work with 4-inch guns? Well, this rare turret just doesn't like anyone. So it just has to sit there alone. Can we get some torpedoes for Pierre Henri? Yes, actually. Can we make this guy not explode? 71% flash fire chance. That is actually a little bit too high. But I guess it's let's actually go standard on the secondary ammunition, because those 6-inch guns can actually do some work. Should be able to. Plus 30 armor quality. 12 inches should be enough on the main belt. Gonna go 13 though on the turrets. Just because I don't want them exploding. They are quite explodey. Yeah, 7.7 on the 6-inch secondary turrets. That's fine. Can we do 6 on the 4.5 belts? Yes, actually. Can this take conning tower armor? Yes, actually. The 4-inch turrets can't take a lot of armor, but they can take a little bit. Casemates can take a little bit more. We actually have displacement left over. Max out the bulkheads. Could almost add a little bit more range as well, but just almost. 4,800 kilometer range. If we keep these ships for our like home water defense, that should be enough. So they can get to battle without running out of fuel. That's the like the main consideration I have for capital ships, because they're not for like any random generated missions anyway. I don't want them getting dragged into those if I can help it. We can put those 3-inch turrets somewhere. Maybe not up in the mast, that would look weird, but other places, definitely. Some of them. And we can have these 4-inch turrets don't fit there, don't fit here. I thought it would work there. Oh, not the torpedoes. If I move you there, is Mr. 12-inch still happy? Yes. I don't get why that barbette gets mad when I do that, but just gonna have to assume that works, because I don't see why that wouldn't work. There. Lots of guns all over. Flashfire chance, really bad. Any turrets I can armor that don't have armor? Maybe like the tops of the 3-inch turrets, but doesn't really matter. We can make those 2-inch guns a little bit smaller, I think. It doesn't impact the flashfire chance, but more armor for the casemates. The 4-inch casemates. A little bit more. Just to keep them from exploding. That's the main concern. Oof. Not even 0.1 extra on the main belt would work. But there we go. That is Pierre-Henri saved. It's almost too bad that it's not raining in the shipyard now, because that looks so nice when it is. Do some thumbnail photography. Maybe Patrie would work. That's a very quintessentially French looking little battleship. Yes. That is France. Oui. So, we have 200 million. I can afford at least one battleship. Let's have Pierre-Henri built. That'll be my flagship, I guess. Le Havre and Brest, Marseille, Nice. The other like ports are my home port. Toulon, La Rochelle, and what's here over in Asia. I know these have like good capacity. Fort Bayard, 30,000. That could be my Asian main port. What about Afrique? Abidjan with 13,000? Yes, I think so. La Rochelle, Toulon, Fort Bayard, and this place. Pierre-Henri, though, is going to be built in let's see, where are you going to get built? Like, the issue with the Mediterranean here is that I do not control who goes in and out. See, Gibraltar, you are Western Mediterranean. Okay, so if I do end up in a war with Britain, and I want to take this, which I will want to, I need ships in the Western Mediterranean. So I can then take Gibraltar and get out. If I'm locked out, I can't take it from the inside. From the outside, I mean. So Marseille. That's your initial home. Right. Got 142,000 remaining. That's a lot of money spent on that one battleship. You're gonna build one more though. Well, the cheaper type. Fort Bayard. Left with 96,000. The money is rolling out. One armored cruiser, I guess. Actually, we can splurge on two of those. One in Abidjan, and the other one in Marseille with Pierre-Henri. 55 million left. And the TB90s. They're going to cost me some money as well. 8 of those. $40 million left. We're going to do 4 in Marseille. 4 in Fort Bayard. 40 million remaining. I want at least some of these. I take 2. We got 24 remaining. Yeah, we can afford more of these. 1 more. And these will be like the spread out kind of ships. 1 in Brest. Heh. And French Antilles, where is that? Is that like the Caribbean, isn't it? Yes. We're gonna need something here as well. And how about Djibouti? Yeah, I might need something there. Or Saint Denis. It's a 3,000 ton port. That can fit a 3,000 ton light cruiser. Where did you go? Reunion, of course. That's where you went. 16 million remaining. So, we can build some Pascals for that kind of money. Well, we can build some. We can build 3. You 2 can live in Marseille. And you in Fort Bayard. There we go. Add crew. That is our initial navy. We don't have a lot of naval funds left. Like 2 million. That's barely enough for 1 torpedo boat. But the monthly balance isn't too bad. Okay, Korea is building my ships. Norway is building my ships. Let's go. And march. Monthly balance up to plus 15 million. We can actually bump this up a little bit. Research. We are getting engines soon. That'll fix some of the problems with the cruisers. I'll save some weight. We're also getting bigger light cruisers, so that'll also fix some things. Mark 1 13s. Where are the 12-inch guns? Here they are. Let's focus large guns for now on those. It's tempting to focus hull strengthening to get dreadnoughts first, but if I wanted to get dreadnoughts as soon as possible, I'd start in 1910. I do want to like enjoy the pre-dreadnought gameplay for a little bit longer. We are gonna need better explosives, though. There's a lot of stuff we're gonna need. Really. I'm not sure how much I want to focus. Because after they split the gun research into so many different types of guns, it's hard to choose which ones, because you kind of need all of them, or most of them. The medium guns are going to be useful. 6-inch guns especially. Very large guns, yes, but more like in the future. So I'm going to click through a couple turns with you before I end the episode. I got some new canals. And then bring you back whenever a war kicks off. Take a look at the politics tab. We're friendly with most nations except for Germany and Austria-Hungary. The German Navy is... they got 2 battleships, same as us. But they do have a lot more cruisers. Right. And where are we like stacked up in terms of GDP? 19 billion, that is. Just behind the US, which is only at 20. Germany at 31, Britain at 58. Britain is still the economic powerhouse. See if we can get an alliance with someone. Some kind of minor nation. At least the naval funds are going up. I don't like any of these options except for maybe this one, which doesn't do anything. The turns are going by quickly, so... Admiral Larsen Magnus. Shouldn't that be Magnus Larsen? Because that's the last name, that's the first name. But he tried to improve our relation, which is good. I don't want the whole world to hate me just yet. We can almost afford building something. Perhaps are we going to build another battleship? That's 4 million a month. We can afford that. But I think that'll have to wait until the next episode. So that's it for now. Goodbye and take care.